Hello everybody, this is the Portly Gamer again, bringing you another episode of... What's the show called? Games You Should Play. Of course I knew that, just testing you. So yeah, and we're gonna play Rebel Galaxy, which is a game I think you should play, and I'll show you why in just a moment. So as you can see, it's a space game, and this is my ship. So if you ever played Elite Dangerous, I haven't, but from what I've seen, this game is very similar to Elite Dangerous in a lot of ways. I'll show you just in a moment by going into the space station. I'm going to dock here. So yeah, I've looked at Elite Dangerous. It looks like fun, but it also looks far too intimidating for me, far too complicated. Might play it someday, but right now it's just like, well, what? So yeah, I'm docked in the space station, and so like the game I just said, Elite Dangerous, thank you, it's menu, navigation and stuff. You go and you dock, and then you can look at your equipment, your weapons, and you can shop and buy new upgrades. You can go to your shipyard and buy different ships. As you can see, there's the different ships that I can eventually purchase once I am rich. That looks like a gun from Mass Effect. Oh, that's kind of cool. But yeah, so the ships, as you can see, are pretty expensive. I only have, if you look in the top left, I only have about 8,000 credits, and these are up in the millions. So I'm far from that. I actually discovered this game when I was just kind of bored and looking through my neglected games in my PlayStation Plus collection. I'm gonna just, actually, I'm going to show you some, before I go into that, I'm going to show you some stuff. So here we have the mission board, which is basically what it is. It's a board where the people, characters, and, well, not characters, just missions are posted, and they have different difficulty ratings. Like how you see, these are high risk, these are low risk, and so on. So you can pick up different missions. I'll just go ahead and accept one, even though I have a few already. Here's your mission log, where you can see the missions that you've accepted to take. And one thing that's pretty cool is as you upgrade the ship, the risk level on the missions actually lowers. So if you were to upgrade your ship high enough, then that means that this high risk mission, for example, will end up being low or very low, etc. Which I think is pretty cool. And then you can visit the bar, where there's a bartender. You can talk to him.
Friend.
The conversations kind of remind me of like old school Fallout. Even the art style kind of looks like if they continued how Fallout used to look back in the Fallout 1, Fallout 2 days, and continue that style today. I feel like this is what it would look like.
Take care, friend.
So yeah, all the conversations are kind of in this kind of view. So anyway, you want to see the space stuff, so we're going to depart and go back into space. So yeah, as I was saying, the game, I found it just in my library of PlayStation Plus free games that I never play, and I was like, you know what, I wanted to play a space game, let's check this out. So I did, and I instantly loved it. I played just for a few hours in one day, but it was one of those days where I didn't feel like playing anything, and then this actually caught my attention, so I wanted to talk about it. I'm going to speed up a little bit here. It also has some mechanics. This is just, I don't know if Elite Dangerous has this too, I'm sure it might have something similar, but I have played No Man's Sky, so if you've played that, you might recognize some mechanics like this. Like, I'm trying to get to this objective, which is pretty far away. It's going to take me forever at this rate. Well, as it says there, you can hold the button to go into warp speed, and then suddenly it's going a lot faster. And this is a way that you kind of travel through space. You just go into warp speed and keep going. The game is, how do I put it? It's probably not for you if you're looking for like a hardcore dogfighting space flight combat simulator kind of thing. This has space combat, but it's not super intense, realistic. Like, you can't even fly your ship up or down as far as I know. In fact, you're going to see some of the combat here. So as you can see, I've got my missiles. These are automatic firing missiles that I've got shooting at these enemies, and then I have my side cannons. I am taking a lot of hits. So this is my deflector shield, which I held up by using the right bumper, and it's going down quickly because I am taking a lot of damage. If you look in the lower left side, you see my radar, and around that are these blue, flashing red bars. Those are, oops, those are basically your shields. So each side of the ship has a shield, and as it takes more damage, it starts to flash, and then eventually, it eventually just goes down, and then you're vulnerable to taking damage on that side. Which my shields on my left side are down right now. That's not good. So yeah, there's different kinds of weapons. I have a turret and I have a missile turret thing that automatically fire at targeted enemies. And then I can switch to like manually take over, so now I'm manually firing this turret, which is actually going a lot better than the auto fire was. And then for this fighter doesn't have shields, but if you look at the little red circle next to his name, if an enemy does have shields, you'll see shields there, similar to how I have my shields. So they'll be blue, like right there. Perfect. So I'm hitting his shields and they're flashing red till they go down, and now he can actually take damage if I could manage to hit him. Gonna switch to my broadside cannons. Okay, well he's dead. So that's combat. As you can see, not super exciting, not super intense. One thing I like about it is the combat starts off very slow. So fortunately, crashing into asteroids doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Anyway, the combat starts off pretty slow, like some of the simplest dogfights in the beginning take kind of a long time. But eventually...
Engines at maximum.
Where's the objective?
Accelerating to sublight.
I guess it's still over here. So anyway, one thing that I like is it doesn't take long for the combat to go from kind of slow and boring to a little more intense like what you just saw now. It only took me about an hour to get my ship upgraded to the weapons that you saw me using there. And it gets even better, like as you just take on more missions and you defeat more enemies and get more money, you just upgrade your ship. So it's sort of grindy, but it's not like a long grind. At least not from what I've experienced. Again, I haven't played too much of this game. And in fact, I'm actually playing this on PC now. I moved over from the PS4 version that I only put a couple hours into, and I'm playing this on PC. Because right now, well, actually, the sale's over now. But GOG was having their summer sale, and if you spent any money, which I had spent $1.50, then you got this game for free. So I have not paid a dime for this game, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't. It's actually pretty dang cool, and I think it's worth it, which is why I'm talking about it on Games You Should Play. I am taking a lot of health. I mean a lot of damage, and I'm dead. That's cool. So yeah, I died. Fortunately, though, there's no permadeath. I was kind of not sure. You just continue from where you saved. And as you can see, I'm back to where I started. So yeah, to kind of explain how flight in this game works, you don't move around with the sticks. You kind of do, but not really. You use mouse and keyboard. You can use mouse and keyboard with the game, but it's actually recommended to use a controller. So if you don't have a controller, you might not enjoy using a mouse and keyboard for this game. I haven't tried it, so I don't know how it works. It might be okay. But anyway, so as you can see in the top left, top right, all the controls are there, so you just speed up the ship by tapping A. And as I fill up, and if you see the blue arrows up there, I'm filling them up or emptying them. My words right now. So it looks like I'm going pretty slow, and I am. It's because I'm near the space station. But as you get further out into just space, you go into what's called sublight, and then you can even boost. And as you can see, it's emptying my boost meter up in the top right, and I can also slow down again and just stop altogether. So now I'm just stopped here in the void of space, trying not to panic and think about my mortality. So go back into, let's go to a different, let's go here. So now we're going into warp speed again to a different objective. Hopefully we don't run into any of those enemies that stopped us along the way last time, but it might happen. That's the annoying thing too, is sometimes if you're just trying to get to an objective at warp speed, you can't see if enemies are coming. until suddenly you're just in the midst of them, and then you're pulled out of warp speed, and next thing you know, you're just in the midst of a huge firefight, which is how I've died the times that I have died. That's another kind of cool thing about the game is, though you can upgrade and make your ship pretty awesome and stronger and able to take on the more, the weaker enemies, it is still very easily to have your butt handed to you in this game. And that has happened, as you just saw a little while ago. I've actually died I've actually taken a lot more damage very much more quickly. I cannot talk during this video. I just recorded a video and I was fine. This time I'm all... Oh my gosh. What am I even doing right now? Okay, I want my broadside cannons. Okay. What was I even saying? I am totally losing my train of thought, getting distracted by this combat right now. So yeah, there are times where I've died even faster than you saw me die a little while ago, because it is very easy to accidentally stumble upon much harder enemies who will wipe the floor with you if there was one in space. But at the same time, you can eventually progress and upgrade your ship to the point where those enemies who wipe the floor with you will get a taste of their own medicine, and it's pretty sweet. There's not really like level scaling or anything as far as I've noticed. You can encounter harder enemies or easier enemies at various locations. Where's the objective? Did I lose it already, or was this it? Oh, I did it. Okay, I got the money. Okay. So yeah, and then I'll open the command menu. Here you have Pulse, where you can scan the local area for different things. So I just scanned and I found detected valuables. Oh yeah, so money. As I was mentioning... What is that? I was mentioning money earlier and how you can earn it. So there is doing missions and whatnot and doing bounties on wanted criminals, but there's also selling stuff. So that's why you want to use this pulse, is because you can detect valuables. You can eventually get a mining laser, which you can use to mine different asteroids that you find, and you can literally just make your money off of selling stuff. And you can actually sell and trade between stations. So if you go to one station and you're like, oh, you find like they're buying a certain type of item for a certain amount of money. It's like, well, it's not too much, maybe I'll hold off and check out another space station. And then eventually you get to other space stations and they are buying that same item for a lot more money than the last one was. So it's kind of like trading in between. So if you find like a valuable item for sale for not, for pretty cheap than what you've seen, you can stock up on them and then go to other space stations and sell for a huge profit. So you can just basically just be a trader, which I think is pretty cool. That's the only thing I was talking about. I got close to a chunk of a ship, and because of that I was ripped out of warp speed. That happens sometimes kind of a lot, and it's kind of annoying, because then you have to wait till you get away from it so you can get back into warp speed. You can also make your living being a rogue. This is called Rebel Galaxy for a reason. Crime is high in the area, and you yourself can choose to be a participant. You can actually hold up merchant ships. You can like hail them to talk to them and then be like, I'm going to steal all your stuff, give me your money. And then they can either fight back or they can give you your money or whatnot. I haven't actually tried it because that's not the route I'm choosing to play, because I would feel bad. Those guys already have plenty of distress beacons all the time. The poor things. So yeah, this is a game I think you should play. I'm gonna wrap this up because it's hot in my room and I'm fumbling with my words. If this game looks cool to you, if traveling through space and living the life of a adventurer or a trader or a criminal sounds like fun to you and it's something you might want to check out, definitely feel free. The game is... I've only... Like I said, I've gotten it twice for free. But I'm sure you can get it pretty cheap. It's actually not too expensive. What am I even firing anymore? Oh, I was firing the wrong guns. Okay, that's what I was firing. Okay. So anyway, that's gonna do it for me, guys. See you in the next episode of whatever it is I upload on this channel. Bye-bye. thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more, feel free to check out one of these other videos you see here on the screen, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me by looking up The Portly Gamer on the social networks below.